Douglas Dennis, the Alkaline Life Coach. Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to go into something that someone asked in the last live video. So I appreciate all your questions and feedback, and let's get into it now. I'm going to make sure that everything's working. If you're just now tuning in, make sure to leave a comment and hit the thumbs up so that we can make sure that we can see everything. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm going to get right into it then, I'm not sure if the chat is on, but there we go. Okay. All right, so we're talking about a purpose-driven life. How to find your passion, how to live with a purpose if you don't already. Someone asked in the last video, they mentioned in the comments that they just feel like they're just living for no reason. They're just kind of waking up and going through the motions. Do you feel like this? I've been at points in my life where I was like that. Definitely not right now though. I have plenty of passion and plenty of purpose, actually too much for me to even accomplish on my own. So let me pass on to you how I became this way or how I stay like this. First, a good thing to start, and this is what I recommended in the last live. By the way, if you haven't, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon because I've been going live a lot. And if you already did subscribe but didn't hit the bell, hit it now. That way you'll get notified when I go live, and then you can ask me questions in real time. If you watch this in the replay, you can comment below and ask your questions there, and I'll answer it later. So, what do you do to become passionate or to find your purpose? This is very natural for me, but I have been at points in life where it felt like I was just trapped in a loop and nothing was improving. In fact, sometimes even when I'm making huge improvements, I feel like that just because I'm one of those people that relentlessly is improving. So you might be too hard on yourself. Whatever the reason is that you've got into this rut, there is a way out of it. So stay tuned till the end. And also the winner, Frank, I just sent out from the last giveaway. I sent out your gift. So congratulations for you, and I'm really excited for you to get that. I gave away an amazing book, and stay tuned because I'm planning to give another one away. So here's the first exercise I recommend to find your passion. Get a pen and paper, a blank one, and write down, if you have a day planner for your new year, infinite peace and love, sacred orbs to you as well. If you have a day planner for next year, you can pick one up for $1 somewhere. These are really expensive some places. I like to keep my pads of paper on the low end because I take a lot of notes and I would make a lot of notes. But if you find something awesome or just a basic one from Dollar Tree, exactly, just the first page, this is what I do. The first page, when you open up the cover, write out everything that makes you happy. And start with 20 things. For some people, this is a challenge. For others, this is not. But this should get you going, and actually, you'll get to maybe 10 or 15 and think, oh, geez, and you might have a writer's block. Take some time and really think about this. Most people never take the time to ever do these things. I know they sound simple, and even a kindergarten student could do this. Honestly, anyone could do it, but don't let the simplicity hold you back from taking it seriously, because this can have major, massive impact in your life and in your future. What measured gets results. If you don't measure it, how are you going to achieve it? We'll get into that a little bit later with goal setting, but this is very simple. So write down what makes you happy And this is a big thing. No one ever does things like this as an adult. Take a minute and sit down after you're done watching this, or whenever it is, late at night, early in the morning, when you have no distractions, really sit down and think about this. And don't let yourself off the hook. Do it. And fill up a sheet of paper, because if you're having problems with passion or actually getting the most out of life, it's things like this that can set you on the right track. It might just be a small thing, but you'll be surprised how big of an impact it can make. Here's the next thing. After you have written down all the things, you can do more than 20 if you want, all the things that make you happy, you should be feeling pretty good after thinking of all these things that make you happy. Now, here's a caution. Don't let your mind block you from writing something down just because it's expensive or just because you think you can't have it for some reason. Don't worry about anything about how you're going to get it. Not yet. Don't think about how you're going to do any of this. Just write down what makes you happy as if you can do whatever you want. Just for these exercises, you have the freedom to do whatever you want and the unlimited amount of money. That's the frame of mind when you're actually writing these down. You don't want to limit yourself. There's no limits here. This is very, very, very important. In fact, you can even write at the top of the page, if I had no limits to my abilities, ... and then go down the page and write down all the things you would do. This is powerful. Are you starting to get excited? What would you do if you had no limits? Not many people think like this. This is what gets the gears turning so that you can start living like this. Now, these are just some simple exercises, and I have some more written down. This video I actually planned out one step at a time, so to keep the focus on track. Write down the physical items, material items that you want. Everything and anything that you want. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about anything. Don't be hard on yourself for wanting material items. This is just an exercise. So the other list, just to reiterate, was the things that make you happy. Now, those don't necessarily have to be material items. That could be going running, going a bike ride, smelling the roses. Anything, kittens, whatever it is that makes you happy, that's up to you. And once you get the gears turning, you'll be able to make a longer list. But then the next part was write down the physical items, the material possessions that you want. And this could be anything. It could be a Rolls Royce. It could be a fighter jet. Hopefully not a fighter. Well, whatever. I'm not limiting you. Don't limit yourself just for this exercise. And here's the next one. Remember, this is to live with passion and purpose. It's not going to randomly happen. You're not just going to wake up and someone's going to put a crown on your head and hand you a suitcase of $1 million and say, good job, you made it. You have arrived in life. You're going to have to do this yourself, but I think we can all agree that these exercises are simple. So this is a way to get started, to get the ball rolling. Next one. These are real and these will work, by the way. I've done all these myself for years and years and years, and I accomplished my lifetime goal before I was even 30. And obviously I didn't set my goals high enough, but we'll get into that right now. Set long-term goals first. Define success, because a lot of people never achieve success because they never define success. They look around at what everyone else does. They blame other people for everything, their situation in life. They look up to this person, they look down on that person, and they never really define what success is to themselves. So what is success? And here's how to set it for you. By the end of your life, what's your goal? What did you do? Now that is a really big question. And this is why you start goal setting with the end of your life. Because it's not about impressing people. It's not about what your family wants you to do. They might all be gone by then. It's what you want to have accomplished by the time that you're physically here and then not. So that is going to take some time to think about. But like I said, sit down, maybe put some headphones on with some instrumental music, nothing that's going to distract you, nothing with lyrics that are going to influence your subconscious mind. Just either white noise or beach sounds or birds chirping or classical music, something, whatever for you, you know what it is that can get your mind unlocked. Maybe you don't know what it is yet. Try some of those things I suggested. And then write it down. Don't just randomly think about this and then let it go by. Pen to paper. Pen to paper. This turns something from an idea into physical reality. When you put the pen to paper, that's also kinetic energy that you're drawing, that writing something physically. Typing it out is okay, but writing it physically by hand is better. And I've studied psychology for over 15 years, so I don't want to go into prove every little thing that I mention. Just take my word for it on that one. The kinetic energy of doing it turns it from just an idea into an action. And then having it written out on a physical piece of paper makes it into physical reality. Already, that's more than existed a minute ago. So your ideas can become reality. That's the big thing here, but this is actually how to practice it into really doing it in your life so that you get the result in your hand. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And if you don't believe that yet, try it and prove it to yourself, because that's the most powerful way I can prove it to you. You doing it. Okay, so once you've set your long-term goals, so we've done 3 exercises so far. We've wrote down a list of what makes us happy. We wrote down a list of material items that we want. And we set our long-term vision for the entire life. What defines success for you? So that you would feel like, I did it. I did it. I did everything that I needed and wanted to do. Deep down, what is that? For some people, for everyone, it's going to be different. So you don't want to live my version of success. You might not be fulfilled like that. And I don't want to live your version of success either. So this is going to be unique for everyone. Of course, there are themes that most people would want. And then work your way back from the long term to now. And only then have you set your goals correctly. So your goals, and I'm not even going to mention that, I wasn't going to mention this, but I'll also throw this out there. They should be SMART goals. I have other videos about this. That means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. They're not just going to be random. And the wording in which you set your goals is very important. You might not think so, but it is. And the way to word that is being grateful for something that you have already achieved. So that's why you start at the end and work your way back, because you've already done it. You've already done the big thing. Now, how did you get there? What did you need midterm? What did you need short term in order to get there long term? Because really what it comes down to eventually, once you've worked your way back from long-term end of life back to the present, is what are you doing every day? The next one is every day you should be excited and you should be working towards your goal. If you're not excited, then you set the wrong goals. If you're not excited, then you probably set goals that you think other people want for you, what you think your family would be impressed by. This is not to impress your family. This is not to impress your friends or your peers. This is for self-actualization. So you can look up online the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's something you learn early on in psychology, which has the basic needs on the bottom of the pyramid, and then you build up to that. And as you have your safety and security and food and water and everything like that, as you have that under control, your needs become more self-actualizing, like giving back to the community or maybe helping other people. It all depends on where you're at. But first you got to get to safety, security, and basic health before you can go on to help other people. So check out the hierarchy of needs if you have never seen that, and make sure every single day you're doing something that makes sense to your short term, thus midterm, and the big picture long term. If you're doing something during the day that doesn't have anything to do with your goals, stop what you're doing and walk away. Mic drop, boom. Just walk out. Don't get caught up in a bunch of time-wasting activity that's just going to depress you long term. Maybe someone else wants you to do something. Maybe you think something will give you fulfillment and it won't. You should be analyzing, if is this going to put me towards my long-term goal? And if the answer is no, then don't do it. Now, sometimes you need to do something short-term in order to hit the midterm goal, in order to hit the long-term goal. By the way, thank you whoever gave me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And that's helping me with some of my long-term goals. So I need your help for those. I can't just like my own stuff. I appreciate that. I hope you're getting value out of this, because although they're very simple concepts, most people never do any of this. Okay, somebody's commented, Sacred Orb said, one of the things you need help with are the seasons. That's interesting. I'm not sure what you mean by that. There are always seasons in life, and Mother Nature, well, nature takes its course. And usually with the actual weather, I don't know if that's literally what you're talking about, but the weather is what we've got. So we can't ever blame the weather or nature for our situation, because that's what we have to work with. The weather and the laws of nature, that's what we've got to use to our advantage. And you have to get inside the flow of the universe. So finding the flow of nature. Okay, what did you say? Oh, I missed it. Okay, Sacred Orb says, I am a stable creature. When the winter comes, everything I stabilized has to change because of the nighttime difference. Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's a challenge if whatever you were doing needs daylight. And right now, as I'm making this live video, it looks like nighttime, even though it isn't. So it does take some adjusting. Also, the daylight savings time is a bunch of nonsense. They originally made that to save money for factory workers so they didn't have to use 1 hour of electricity. But really, it's irrelevant to us nowadays, and I hope they stop doing it. But I'm not exactly sure what your habits are, but if you need some help super achieving, then you could always reach out and get some one-on-one coaching if that's going to help. So one more thing that I have written down on my agenda, and then I can take some questions. Okay, so I think I got through everything actually. So if you're not happy with what you're doing, and you're waking up and the activities in your day are making you miserable, there's a reason for that. It's not getting you, your subconscious mind is not lying to you. I listen to my gut, and I learned the hard way several times until finally, I put the foot down. I'm listening to my gut from now on. If I don't like doing something, I question it. Why am I doing this? Is it gonna get me towards my goal, or am I just busy wasting time to look busy? You don't have to be busy just being broke and not successful. You don't have to be busy building someone else's dream, building someone else's career or business that's not going to give you long-term results. You can walk away at any time. I give you permission. What you should not walk away from is your personal long-term goal, unless you did some soul searching and decided that's really not what you want. Because yeah, you might need to edit these. And that's why, I can talk about the New Year's resolution. Okay, I should have titled the video. Oh well. New Year's resolutions. This is a good time for it. At the very end, after everything else I talked about, you can set your New Year's resolution, because that's actually what you're doing. That's a year-to-date goal. Next year, in 1 year, what did you do? All next year. And you know what? I set New Year's resolutions and I hit them every time. I don't know why these people always make jokes about they never hit their New Year's resolution. Don't even set one if you're not gonna hit it. I don't know. Don't let yourself off the hook. If it's really important, if it's just something that you think other people are going to praise you for, or you're hoping to get a reward for, or you're just doing because you think someone wants you, then you'll quit easily. It's got to be really important to you. You, deep down. Doesn't have to impress me or anyone else. So your New Year's resolution should help you hit your short-term goal. And that short-term goal should help you hit your midterm goal. And that midterm goal should help you hit the end time goal, which was the defining success in your whole life. To you, and again, like I mentioned, it's going to be different for everyone. So, for someone it might be $1 million. For someone else it might be to clear up their skin, And I think having healthy skin would be even better than money in some instances. But why not have both? You can have both. You can have whatever you want. I believe in you, and you should believe in yourself. But if you don't right now, these are some steps that I mentioned on how to start doing it. And thanks again, someone else who thumbs it up. I appreciate that. So that I hit all the bullet points that I have written down for this video. If you have any questions, I will happily answer them before I sign off. And if not, have an amazing day on purpose. And if you don't know how to find your purpose, now you do. So now I can say that at the end of every video, can just direct people to this one. I'll give you a few seconds to ask questions, and then I will sign out. But I hit everything. If you're just now tuning in, here are the bullet points. Write down a list of what makes you happy. Then another exercise, write down what you want, physical material items. The next one, set long-term goals all the way to the end of your life and define success, what that means to you, not anyone else. Next was work backwards from then to now. After the long term, set the midterm goals. After that, set the short term goals. And then and only then set the New Year's resolution. And then and only then make a to-do list. A lot of people make a to-do list first. Oh, there went my monitor. What is that? I thought I told you not to turn off. All right, well, we're live. Now I know. So, technology. I'm always battling with technology. I like people, but computers, on the other hand, So, work your way backwards, and when after you set the long-term, mid-term, then short-term, then New Year's resolution, then a to-do list. Most people start with a to-do list, and then they wonder why they're so stressed out, because they have this list of things they need to do, but there's no long-term vision of where they're going. And I know I've done this a lot. I have to-do lists, tons. I have them some in this drawer right here. Lists and lists and lists. Because I'm a overachiever, but some of that stuff won't make you happy, and that's why you have to take the time to do the soul searching, as some people say. It's important, and it'll make a big difference. And an hour time spent planning might save you weeks, years, decades of your life if you're doing the wrong things. So a little bit of planning and a little bit of soul searching can really go a long way. Definitely. All right, what does Keto and Mercury mean? I don't know what that means. Enlighten me. Are you responding to one of the things that I said? What? Oh, is that the changing of the seasons? Astrology? I'm not too much into that kind of thing, although I do love to look at the stars. Okay, so Sacred Orbs asked, so after we make the lists, what do we do? Well, you wake up and you go for it. As soon as your eyes open in the morning, you think, do it! And I, like, when I wake up in the morning, I think, go, 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 go. And that's just too urgent for most people. But if you did the soul searching and know where you're going, then you'll know what to do when you wake up. But your daily to-do list should be something to do with your short, mid, and long-term goal. All of it. Everything on there should be helping you get there. You should cut out the things that you're doing that don't directly get you towards your goals. Unless it's in the very short term and you need to just, sometimes you just need a paycheck for such and such. But so the shorter term you go, the more flexible you need to go. But then the longer you go towards your goal, the less flexible, and you should be coming towards more and more. And you should be seeing it come towards you. If you set the goals properly and they're specialized or specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed, then you'll be on the right track. If they're not measurable, you're not going to know what's going on. And you're never going to know what you did. So it's got to be measurable so that you knew, I did it. Otherwise, you won't know, and you'll just be spinning the wheels like a hamster on a wheel. Does that make sense? Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. I appreciate live people tuning in while I'm going through the info. That way I can get some feedback. It's unnatural to just talk to a screen, even though I've learned how to do it. It's always better with live humans interacting. So I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate everyone giving the thumbs up and the feedback. I'll give you a few more seconds to ask questions, and then I will sign off. I'm just gonna have an awkward silence while you type, because I never stop talking in the videos. In real life, I would listen more than I talk, but I know that you're watching this on a screen, so it's a little bit unnatural, and I'm just talking, talking, talking. But yeah, in real life, I'm a good listener, so type your questions now. I'll give you a few more minutes, and then I'll get going. And I am going to get something to eat because I've been working all day. A lot of good progress has been made. I've actually filled up my quota for students right now for clients. I have a bunch of new clients before the new year, and a lot of people who are trying to shift over their lives to a healthier lifestyle. And it's a pleasure for me to help out and to be a part of it, because that's helping me with my long-term goal and my mission. It's a good win-win. All right, I just see some other people tuning in. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna get going. And you can watch the replay if you haven't seen all the steps. I went through a bunch of different bullet points on how to set yourself up to win. And this stuff works. I've achieved all of my goals in life already before I was 30, and then I had to reset everything and obviously raise the bar because my goals were too easy. If your goals are not frightening you, then they're not big enough. So some of your goals, your big goals, should be huge. And they should require more than just you to accomplish. If it just requires you and that's it, it's probably not a big enough goal. So Sacred Orb said, I didn't know you were doing tutoring. I'll keep that in mind if someone asks. Thank you. Yes, I hit my quota for right now, and I'm gonna probably take a pause on those. But maybe after the new year, I'll do another special and let some more people into the program if they really, really, really want to, because I only take people who are totally dead set on changing their situation. And I interview everyone more than once to make sure it's a good fit. I don't just let anyone in the program. That being said, though, the people that are in the program are amazing people, and I'm really happy to have them. And we're slowly but surely creating a community of like-minded people, and I'm going to have live events in the future. I might even start planning some soon. I mean, I was going to have done them already if this you-know-what wouldn't have happened. But I was looking at different places around the world to hold an event. Obviously now I'm going to be looking much closer to where I am. But I want to have, I don't know where everyone watching is from. Most of my viewers are from the US. So it's going to be in the US this time, definitely for the first one. And any international travel is just such a pain right now that I don't want to subject anyone to that. Also, it's unhealthy to cover your face, and I don't want to have people stuck in some transportation for a long time. Yeah, the event will be live for sure. It'll be live in person, and I guess I might have some parts of it live on YouTube. Not all of it, though, because the whole point is to get the technology out, and so we can be in real life in person. Remember that thing, real life, when human beings walked around and talked and touched each other and breathed and everything? Yeah. Yes, the live, I will broadcast some of it, but most of it will be just private between the people that are there. in real, it'll just be a handful of people, especially for the first one, so that I can make sure that it's high quality. But I'm looking for a location to have it, and where I'm at is really cold, so so if you're in the South and have an awesome venue or some place that you recommend us to have our Alkaline Life retreat at, let me know. It'd be cool if it was someone connected that's already a part of our channel. Someone with like a small, Florida Keys would be nice. Somewhere like that. It's kind of it's the continental US, but they're also islands. So it's not that hard to get there. I'm not sure if that's too remote for everyone, but that's my first idea. I'm pretty much steering clear of California right now from everything I've heard. I don't know. Although I know that at least one viewer is from there. So we'll have to figure out where to have it. And actually, I would like your input since you might be coming there. And until I pick out a place, that's pretty much going to determine the cost. If it's somewhere super nice and exclusive, then it'll be more costly. If we can find somewhere that will donate their space to us, then it would be cheaper. So I'm open to doing both. I'd like to do a really high-end one, but I would also like to do one that is affordable for anyone. Both would be nice, would be great. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. And also one of my clients asked me to set one up that we could like go on a hike or stuff like that. And I have a lot of stuff planned. Definitely. I actually planned a retreat, the whole schedule and everything, before I started talking about it on YouTube. So I planned this more than a couple years ago, and I just am getting everything together. Obviously, I had to make my program first, so I made that about not quite a year ago. But actually, it'll be coming up on the year anniversary before you know it, and we'll have some people going through it now that can give you their feedback, hopefully on camera once I have a live event. But we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna take a team of people to put that together. It's not just something I want to do by myself. I could, but that would take some of the quality out of it. If I do everything myself, then it's better to just do what you're good at. That's why I mention all these things in this video, is because when you write down the things that make you happy and all the things you want and your long-term goals and everything, you'll go, I could read, if you handed me what all the things you wrote down, I would know a lot about you. Those are the important things. Those are going to be the important things of your life. And you don't have to show anyone. I was just saying, hypothetically, that would tell me quite a lot about your future. And also, I would know, I could predict a lot of your future, because when you put the pen to paper and actually go through the things I talked about in this video, that is part of what you need to do to make it happen. And I've seen this work for me. I've seen this work for other people. Every high performance person and super successful person is not at all following the norm of what the masses are doing. Keep that in mind. So if your goals are stretching you out of your comfort zone, good. Your comfort zone does not have anything you want. I should have said that at the beginning. If you're looking for your goal, if you're looking for fulfillment inside your comfort zone, you're not going to find it. Sorry to burst your bubble, but then again, I'm the one that's here to wake you up for some of this. So that's part of my role, and I have accepted that. So thank you so much for watching. We just hit the 40-minute mark. It's not that long for a live, but this one is not going to be a marathon. I'll do another marathon live on the weekend. So thanks for tuning in and stay tuned for that. Make sure to hit the bell icon so that you get notified next time I go live. Thank you so much for interacting, Sacred Orbs. You're awesome. I appreciate the feedback. And I will see you soon in another video. Let me know if you have questions and ideas for other videos, and I'll do my best. I made this whole video off of someone's question in the last live. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Have an amazing day on purpose. Peace.